Like, what if I never have babies because nobody wants to give me their seed now? I'm just like ashamed, embarrassed. I don't know. I can't believe it. Like, I was so naive, so stupid.
So what is going on here? Well, this is Sophie, and Sophie is about to explain to us how she is disrespectful, irresponsible, and selfish in an upcoming clip I'm going to play for you. Now, before we dive into Sophie, please remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. Make sure that you're still subscribed, because YouTube does unsubscribe people every single day. You can find me over on X, on Rumble, and on BitChute. I should have a video out for you on the 1st, if you were looking forward to that. Happy New Year, everybody. One other thing before we get into this. For all you don't talk over the video warriors out there, I will leave a link to Sophie's TikTok down in the comments. Sorry if you don't have TikTok. That's where I got all of these things. I don't know what to tell you other than get TikTok. Now let's dive into Sophie here.
Today, my whole life could change, and I'm scared. Friday night, I started having a burning sensation whenever I peed. Was not pleasant. So Saturday, I went to urgent care, and they put me on medication for a UTI. So I started the UTI medication on Sunday, and then that night, I noticed that my right lymph node in my groin was swollen. By Monday, the UTI meds still haven't kicked in. It still really hurt whenever I peed.
Well, it sounds like it's not a UTI then. I mean, for whatever could it be? Could it possibly be that you have something much worse than a urinary tract infection?
So I called to make an appointment with my gyno. And it's now Wednesday. My appointment's in like half an hour. This subject is very stigmatized, has a lot of shame around it, but...
And for good reason. Like I said, irresponsible, disrespectful.
Then I noticed warts on my genitals. Very, very painful. These last few days, I've just felt run down, icky, haven't had an appetite, uncomfortable. It hurts to walk. It hurts to sit. Everything hurts. I'm scared. If it's herpes, I know it's not the end of the world. I'm about to go to my appointment now, so I will come back with an update.
I have herpes.
Yes, and you should feel ashamed and you should be crying right now. So that's the correct response. You know, how did you get this? It was a choice that you made. It's your fault that you got this. It's your fault. You control the bedroom. And you might say, oh, no, it can be forced. Yeah, it can be forced. And that's unfortunate. Very unfortunate when it is forced and a person ends up with this condition. But you did this willingly. Now, you didn't know what you were getting into, but it's not like we're ignorant of these things happening and how they happen. You've been given every opportunity to wear a raincoat, to force the man to wear a raincoat. You chose this.
If I want to have unprotected sex, I have to tell them. I don't know how this is going to affect my dating life.
Well, it'll probably slow it down at first, but once you find a group of men who have the herpes, it'll pick back up again, I'm sure. Dirty rototiller.
I can't give birth vaginally if I have an outbreak. I don't know. I don't fucking know how I'm supposed to tell my parents this.
Oh, so you have parents and you care about what they think. So why didn't you care about what they told you? Because I'm imagining if you care about what they think, you also care about what they have told you. And they probably told you at some point in time, yeah, don't go being with a lot of boys. Or maybe they did tell you to be with a lot of boys because, hey, you know, free love and stupid progressive woke BS. But make sure you're safe. And you weren't safe. So
it's also just fucking painful. And I'm gonna have these outbreaks for the rest of my life.
Not necessarily. You might not ever have another outbreak. There are some people who never have an outbreak and have the disease their whole life. There's some people who get one and never have another one. There are some people who have them every once in a while. There are some people who have them frequently, and there are some people who are constantly in a state of this condition rearing its ugly head out. But that would require a very weakened immune system, which you seem to have a very strong immune system, so I wouldn't worry about that part too much.
I feel like my parents are gonna be so disappointed in me. I don't know.
What possesses a person, any person, to go on to international media? As long as you speak the language or have a translator, you can understand what she's talking about. Showing your face, spreading your business. Oh, you're so brave. And all the comments are like, oh, you're so brave. You're so confident. You're so great. You're so wonderful. Oh, you'll get through this. Don't worry. Everything's going to be all right. And all supportive of her. But you see, she did this to herself, as I said before. Can you get the herpes in ways that are not your fault other than violation? Yeah, of course. You can. You can be exposed to this condition, this disease, many different ways. And I feel for those people who are like, I was living life like a normal person is supposed to, not sleeping around, and I still ended up getting this. That's a rare occurrence when that happens, but it does happen. But let's see what she has to say about getting this condition.
Continue talking about this and normalizing it. I know my worth. I know what I bring to the table. If herpes is what's going to stop you from being with me, that's your choice.
Well, yeah, if what you bring to the table is the herpes, that's going to stop me from wanting to be with you. You're an attractive woman. Normally, I would want to be with a woman who looks like you. Or better. But not when you have this. That's not okay. You see, you think you know what you bring to the table. What you bring to the table is herpes. What else do you have to offer? What else do you have that you bring to the table that I would find valuable as a man? She's going to elucidate us here in just a moment.
I've been single for like 5 years. I love being single.
Rototiller. She loves being single. She's been single for 5 years. She looks like she's 19. I think that she lives with her parents. From what I can gather watching her videos, she lives with her parents. That's the vibe I get. So she can't be very old. I mean, how old is she living with her parents? If she's like 25, 26, and she's still living with her parents, that's weird. Maybe, but it's unusual. And she's been single for 5 years, doing who knows what with who knows who, which is how she got the herpes. And if you think, oh, you don't have enough evidence of that, anti-woke warrior, she has not said that she was sleeping around. She just said that she loves being single. Here we go.
What I have learned is God gives the biggest dicks to the dumbest motherfuckers. It's so upsetting.
Now, in case you didn't catch that, I'll play it again for you.
What I have learned is God gives the biggest dicks to the dumbest motherfuckers. It's so upsetting.
Well, there you have it. And all this time I thought I was intelligent. But how would she know? How would she know that the dumb guys are the ones who get the big wieners? How would she know that? Unless she'd had a lot of experience with a lot of men. Right? That's what that says to me. That statement right there says to me that she's been around. She's tried a lot of men and says, hey, look, the guys with the big ones, and I like the big ones, they're stupid. I don't like stupid men. Perhaps, however, young lady, you're the one who's stupid. Like, you would disagree with me left and right now if you heard me talking about this. If you watch this video, which you probably are never going to, you're probably going to be like, you're a jerk, you're an asshole, I don't like you. But I'm right. Everything I'm saying here is 100% spot on. But you would think I was stupid because I disagree with you. That's the thing that I've noticed with female intelligence. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. Please go down in the comments and tell me your experience with this. When women say, I want an intelligent man, they mean they want a man who agrees with them and their ideas. How could you possibly be wrong? I've thought about this. I have the best notion of it. But the fact is, you've probably been given bad information on a lot of the things that you believe. A lot of the ideas that you've come to conclusions on probably are based on misinformation, bad information.
And she was like, I'm going to support you, but you have a voice now, you have a platform, and you have to be careful. You don't want to spread any misinformation. You need to get your facts straight. You need to educate yourself. I thought that I was just talking to avoid.
So what is this about now? This is what her mother told her. You gotta get your facts straight. You have a voice. You have a platform to speak on. NBC did an interview with her. So she claims. I mean, who knows? Maybe she made that up. I doubt it, though. I don't think that a person would lie about that. It doesn't make any sense. She needs to get her facts straight. She doesn't have her facts straight, and let me show you why.
I mean, 67% of the population has it. Still.
68% of the population has herpes. More than 67% of the whole population has.
Nope. Well, this is from Medical News Today, and I think this is where she got her information from. You see right here, it says that globally, about 67% of people below the age of 50 years of age, which equates to 3.7 billion people, have HSV1. This is the virus that most often causes oral herpes. They also note that 417 million people aged 15 to 49 years, 11% of the population, have HSV2, which usually causes genital herpes. This is from the WHO, the WHO, the World Health Organization, which lied to us repeatedly about COVID. So take that with a grain of salt. These numbers are probably way exaggerated, but it doesn't say anything about crossover. And I mean, we can just look at the face of this right here. If these were separate populations, there was no crossover here, that's 78% of the population, not 67%. So she's lying about that, or she's misinformed about that, or she's stupid about that. This girl is an idiot. That's what it comes down to. She makes bad choices because she's not smart. There's probably crossover, though. I mean, there's probably people who have both HSV1 and HSV2. So there's probably crossover. And this only covers people below the ages of 50. That doesn't talk at all about the people over the age of 50 or below the age of 15 in the case of HSV2. In the way that she talks about it, the way she said those three statements there, which, by the way, between those statements, she released another video where she said 1 in 8 people has the herpes. So she knows that her numbers are all over the place and that she's just making stuff up as she goes along. But she is doing this to destigmatize the notion, trying to make it seem like it's normal by saying like 67% of the people have the herpes. We all think that she's talking about genital herpes when she says that, because that's her diagnosis, is genital herpes. She's saying that, 67% of the population has herpes. No, 67% of the population has HSV1, which almost always affects the mouth only, not the genitals. We have another stat we can look at here. This is from Very Well Health. 417 million people with HSV2 genital herpes. 140 million people have HSV1 causing genital herpes infections. So you see there's a much smaller population who have HSV1 on their genitals. Not to mention that these statistics, this 67% statistic, is probably misleading in that there are people who do not know they have it. So it's an estimate. It's always going to be an estimate anyway. We didn't count all 8 billion people, test all 8 billion people in the world for herpes. So she's misinforming people that way. It's much more common, but genital herpes is actually much less common when you're looking at the overall population. 11% is the minority. You're in the minority, but the fact is how you got it. That's the problem. This could have been avoided if you had been doing the things you're supposed to be doing. Who says she's supposed to be doing that stuff, anti-woke warrior? We've only been told our whole lives don't sleep around, because we know that people are going to do that. People are going to sleep around. Period. It's going to happen. So we tell you not to do it, knowing that you're going to do it, even with that little nagging voice in the back of your head saying don't do it. Now, to me, it's very clear what she's doing. It should be very clear to all of you watching my channel what she's doing as well. And that is, which I've stated before, and she states plenty of times in her videos. Go watch them if you don't believe me. But she wants to destigmatize the herpes HSV2 infection. She wants to destigmatize it. Why would she want to destigmatize it? She says in one of her videos, the reason it needs to be destigmatized is because if it is, then there'll be a cure for it. No, that's not why. There's no cure for it. There's lots of reasons why there could be no cure for it. Lots of reasons why. But what we need to do is you just need to not be a garden tool, and you won't have these problems. The thing is, she's trying to avoid her accountability. Where have we seen this before? And every freaking woman that we come across, especially every feminist that we come across here, they don't want to take responsibility for their actions. They don't want to be held accountable for their actions. They want to be the victim. So she is trying to avoid the stigma because it makes her look bad. She's trying to guilt men into being like, oh, look, you should be with me. It's not my fault I got herpes. But that's the thing. It is your fault. If it wasn't your fault, a man might be like, oh, well, shoot, I really like you. That sucks. I mean, I guess we could be together. I know if it's not your fault. I mean, I don't want to punish you for something that isn't your fault. But a lot of men would still say, no, I'm not gonna be with you because I don't want to catch that disease. I mean, it just depends on the strength of your relationship and all that. But you're not going to ever be able to build a strong relationship unless you find a man who has herpes, because any reasonable man that you're going to want to be with long term is going to, as soon as you disclose that you have the herpes, he's going to be like, I'm out. Bye. Why wouldn't you? Like, I want to settle down and get married. If a girl had said to me, yeah, by the way, in fact, there was a girl that I was chatting up at the grocery store when I would go visit there, and she was a little flirty with me. And then one day I walked in and her lip had a big blister on it, and I was like, what do you got going on there? She's like, oh, it's a cold sore. Those things happen. And I'm like, not to me, hopefully, ever. Bye. And that is the one that is more common, right? A lot of people have that, and rarely does it seem to impact their health in any kind of severe way at all. But still, people don't want to be exposed to these things if they can help it. There's not a cure for this. And all you had to do was go, put one of these on. Or, hey, stop being single. The last 5 years, you should have been in a long-term relationship. Maybe a couple, but no more than 3 in 5 years. You should have been right about now, instead of going, I have herpes. You should have been going, I'm getting married. I'm gonna have a family. It's gonna be great. Instead, you have to try to bend the entire world's opinion of an incurable, communicable disease that can easily be avoided, so that you don't feel bad about yourself, so that people don't judge you, so that people don't make you feel bad about yourself. No. Screw your woke feminazi garbage. Now, here's your palate cleanser. Thanks for watching.
Está lloviendo, estás aquí tirado, estás aquí con las chispis. Aquí andamos, los dos. Mirad qué foto. Mirad qué foto de tontos. Yo sé que estáis viendo el vídeo y diciendo, ¿pero qué hace este? Pues aquí, pegándome un baño a las 7 de la tarde, que está cayendo aquí lo que no está escrito, y aquí con mi amiga. ¿Cómo estás, amiga? ¿Cómo lo llevas? ¿Bien?